Call of the Wild. This is a documentary on a book called Call of the Wild. Call of the Wild is written in 1903 by a man named Jack London. Jack London was born on January 12, 1876 in the great city of San Francisco, California. The main character in the story is Buck, a powerful dog, half St. Bernard and half Scottish Shepherd. Lives on Judge Miller's estate in California's Santa Clara Valley. He leads a comfortable life there, but comes to an end when men discover gold in the Klondike region of Canada, and a great demand arises for strong dogs to pull sleds. Buck is kidnapped by a gardener named Manuel on the Miller estate and sold to dog traders, who teach Buck to obey by beating him with a club and shipping him to the north to the Klondike.
Arriving in the chilly north, Buck notices a pack of huskies. Buck sees the cruelty around him. As soon as another dog from his ship, Curly, gets violently attacked and gets killed, Buck vows never to let the same fate befall him. Buck becomes the property of Francois and Perrault, two mail carriers working for the Canadian government, and begins to adjust to life as a sled dog. He recovers the instincts of his wild ancestors. He learns to fight, scavenge for food, and sleep beneath the snow on winter nights. At the same time, he develops a fierce rivalry with Spitz, the lead dog in the sled team.
One of the fights is broken up when a pack of wild wolves invaded the camp, but Buck begins to undercut Spitz's authority, and eventually the two dogs become involved in a major fight. Buck kills Spitz and takes his place as lead dog. With Buck as head of the team, Francois and Perrault sleds make record time. However, the men soon turn the team over to a mail carrier who forces the dogs to carry much heavier loads. In the midst of a particular arduous trip, one of the dogs becomes ill, and eventually the driver has to shoot him. At the end of the journey, the dogs are exhausted, and the mail carrier sells them to a group of American gold hunters, Hall, Charles, and Mercedes.
Buck's new masters are inexperienced and out of place in the wilderness. They overload the sled, beat the dogs, and plan poorly. Halfway through their journey, they begin to run out of food. While the humans bicker, the dogs begin to starve, and the weaker animals soon die. Of an original team of 14, only 5 are still alive. When they limp into John Thornton's camp, still some distance from their destination, Thornton warns them that the ice over which they are traveling is melting and that they may fall through it. Hall dismisses these warnings and tries to get going immediately. The other dogs begin to move, but Buck refuses.
When Hal begins to beat Buck, Thornton intervenes, knocking a knife from Hal's hand and cutting Buck loose, keeping Buck with him. Hal curses at Thornton and starts the sled again. Thornton stays with Buck, and before Hal has gone a quarter of a mile, the ice breaks open, swallowing both the humans and the dogs with the sled. Thornton becomes Buck's master, and Buck's devotion to him is total. He saves Thornton from drowning in a river, attacks a man who tried to start a fight with Thornton, and most remarkably, wins $1,600 in a wager for his new master by pulling a sled carrying an 1,000-pound load. But Buck's love for Thornton is mixed, with a growing attraction to the wild, and he feels as if he's being called away from civilization and into the wilderness.
This feeling grows stronger when he accompanies Thornton and his friends in search of a lost mine hidden deep in the Canadian forest. While the men search for gold, Buck ranges far afield, befriending wolves and hunting bears and moose. He always returns to Thornton in the end, until one day he comes back to camp to find the Yihad Indians have attacked and killed his master. Buck attacks the Indians, killing several and scattering the rest, and their heads off into the woods. Where he becomes the leader of a pack of wolves, he becomes a legendary figure, a ghost dog, fathering countless cubs and inspiring fear in the Yihad. But every year he returns to the place where Thornton had died, to mourn his master before returning to his life in the wild.